Yeah, baby. Yeah.
How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report, or the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast. It is Tuesday, April 25th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Ruby Tuesday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Sign up today and play and follow the top pickers at bullpenpicks.com. You see right now our top score is one time 34, Scott Christensen 801, Art 55 at 777, and yours truly, Ron Raymond, at 772. And those are your top scorers right now at bullpenpicks.com. Sign up today. It's free to play. It's basically it's the Twitter of baseball pickers. And what you want to do is once you sign up, go to top scorers, top pickers, and follow the top baseball pickers. And once they make their selections, you go to your following link right here. And then you can see that Hawkeye's already made his picks for today. KC, Arizona, San Diego's the Chicago Cubs. And you can see their selections right here. And at the bottom, you just put in your selections and the confidence level that the players have on that game. So this way, you know if it's a small, a strong pick, a medium pick, or just a pick they like and they don't really love. But check it out. It's at bullpenpicks.com. Also, atscalculator.com if you want to calculate. If you like analytics, this is a very good sports analytic tool that you can use, and it's really good for NBA. Said the spread sports. So let's say NBA, and let's go to a game here tonight. What do we got here? We got Boston at home this evening against Atlanta. Let's go create the ATS result. And you see we got the Celtics probably winning. Yeah, the Celtics winning by 6.23. The over-under landing on 229.82. And that's how the ATS calculator works. And if you go to the fields, you can clear some of the fields, right? So let's say Atlanta is on the road here tonight, so we don't need their home stats, so we'll clear that field. Last 5 games, we'll take that out. Last 10 games, we'll take that out. Same thing for Boston. Take out some of the fields that you really don't need. Let's say the road games, and let's see if it adjusts so 5.96, 229.5. So you can see how the analytics here work. ATScalculator.com. Give it a shot. And you want to make use of that towards your handicapping. It's really good when it comes to football totals. I really find totals, basketball, baseball, in fact, even baseball. Let's do the White Sox and the Blue Jays tonight. Big win last night for the they had a big inning. I shouldn't say it was a big win. They had a big inning where they scored 4 runs. But Chicago White Sox, let's go Blue Jays. And survey says I'll probably have a take on the Blue Jays here today too, right? I know that they doesn't look like a festival in the dugout anymore. All right, 1.0. Yeah, we got the Blue Jays winning here today. So that's ATS Calculator. That's how it works. Check it out. ATScalculator.com, bullpenpicks.com, and hopefully you can make your picks each and every day. All right, hey, it's been a while, hey, and the purpose of this show.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Yeah, I demand we have fun each and every day, and hopefully you guys are tuning back into the bullpen. And I talked about this on the recorded podcast, so I figured, you know what, if I'm going to go twice a week now, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 Eastern, might as well do it live. Hey, we'll do it live. Hey, remember that little take there? But yeah, we're going to do it live, and this way, we interact with the audience. And if you have any questions you got for me, or we're going to talk to Ross this week, see maybe Ross make a guest appearance once in a while. But you know what? I figured I can't do 5 days a week during the whole year. It just burns me right out. And then I find like I'm always talking about the same thing. And it's just like anything else, right? You got to miss it a bit. Why do we love sports? The NFL. Why do you love the NFL? Because you bet on it for like 6 to 7 months, and then you miss it for the next 5 months, right? And I think that's the way like a lot of these shows have to be sometimes in podcasts, right? You gotta miss it a bit, and even for me as the host, you appreciate it more when you do come back. But you do need that little bit of a break. You can't go 12 months of the year. I don't know how those guys do it, like Dan Patrick and all that, 5 days a week. It's just and the thing is, when you watch those shows, like say Dan Patrick or Stephen A. Smith or all those 5 days a week guys or girls, it's just what you get used to their character, their demeanor, their way of thinking, and then it's just after like 3, 4, 5 months, you're like, okay, well, you know what? I've been to that barbecue. I know what it's all about. And I think you got to really provide. The thing I'm really big on is that if you're going to provide a service or a show, it's got to be something that with quality, right? And quantity is not so good sometimes, but quality of the show has to be good. All right, so I see my good friend Lee Clark's in the house. Good morning, Lee. It's a Maine World. Jermaine Brown, how you doing there? It's a Maine's World. Scott Christensen. Good morning, Scott. OG Wheat. Great day to be in the bullpen. Great morning, everyone. How's it going, Coach? Yeah, Coach is doing really well. I've been, as you guys know, last year I told you guys I was bringing back capital QBs. So I have a quarterback school that I here in Ottawa. And what's up? Been some time. We still cashing using the app. We still caching using the app. I don't know what that means, Bobby, but Bobby, I do have a good news for you. We did fix that MLB standings for you and for us. So yeah, I saw a little bit of an error on one thing, but yeah, go ahead, Bobby, in the stats section right here. In fact, I'll show Bobby what. So Bobby is one of our longtime. In fact, Bobby gave me some great ideas on the report card. But I'm going to go to the dashboard area. And I'm going to show my good friend Bobby Hubby right here. Let's go to ATS standings, and I'll go over some of the new looks and feels of the website. You go to MLB. I got to make sure this is this thing on? So yeah, okay, we are on. Okay, there it is, Bob. You can see that NFL, MLB. This one takes a long time to. I don't know why. It just takes a longer time to open up the pages, but we do have it. And I lost my train of thought there. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, I was talking about my quarterback school. Hey, shiny thing in the corner, eh? Butterflies. All right. Yeah, so I did I started back the capital QBs, the quarterback school last week and last year, and we're training quarterbacks. Now we got like 17 quarterbacks that we're training here in Ottawa. Some of these kids are 10 years old, and they can probably throw better than some of the university quarterbacks that I've seen. But yeah, so some of these kids can really sling it. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm also coaching with the provincial team here in Ontario called the Myers Riders. So if you're in the Toronto area and wherever in town, come and say hi. And yeah, our football team and the team I coach, the varsity group. So they're like high school athletes of age. So a lot of fun, great quarterbacks, great team, and the coaching staff's awesome. So having a blast again coaching football. After COVID, I took a little bit of a time off, and I said, you know what, at 54, I'm not used to just sitting here not doing nothing. I gotta get out there and get back to my craft, and that's coaching football, having a blast and enjoying it. All right, so there it is, Bobby. Your favorites, your underdogs, your home favorites, your home underdogs, road teams, road favorites. It's all there. And it's in the dashboard area. So if you go to your dashboard, ATS standings, you want to see how the favorites are doing on the year. But I got to fix this error right here. This is like spread sports, picking the 120. But yeah, so we got one. If you want to know what baseball favorites are doing from 120 to 140, favorites 55 and 38, 59.1% on the year, pretty good. And I'll get back to this in just a few minutes. All right, so welcome back, everybody. Again, my name is Ron Raymond, a 5-time sports handicap champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Nice sunny day today in the nation's capital. It is it is 8 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's probably like 58, 61 maybe. But thanks, bud. You're welcome, Bobby. But yeah, beautiful day here in the nation's capital, and ready to roll with today. And hey, if New York Jets fans, how do you like Aaron Rodgers being your new starting quarterback?
How about our offense? When are we going to put it together?
Yeah.
When are we going to put it together?
Yeah, the only thing, you don't have Rex Ryan as your coach anymore. But yeah, looking forward to that. If you're tuning into the show, we're all about one thing.
I want winners.
Yeah, as Mike Singletary would say, we'll give you some winners, and we'll let you know what team are struggling too, right, Joe?
Struggling.
Yeah, we'll pick on the beatables. All right, got a good show lined up for you guys here today. We're gonna do like we always do. Oh, before I do get on with the show, I'm doing a 12-part series on sports betting. Mastering sports betting. And if you go to the website each and every day, well, this weekend we didn't release because the weekend's not a very busy when it comes to numbers on the website. I got a feeling like a lot of the bettors are like Monday to Friday for traffic, right? But the weekends I find there's a little bit of a drop off. People, life happens, right? People with kids, people doing activities, and then your surfing habits are a little bit different during the weekday compared to the weekend. But I found this has been getting a lot of run here on the website. So if you go to the website, atsstats.com, go to betting tools, go to 12-part series, and we're at today we release the 5th, playing the percentages, right? And if you follow the Raymond Report, the Raymond Report's about 5 things, right? Value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, / injury, and a money management system. But today in the we're talking about playing percentage. I'll get a little bit into it near the end of the show, but I want to show you guys this. And the first was the introduction. The second article was about finding value in your pricing. So when you are doing your handicapping, are you finding value in the pick you're selecting? Calculating the margin of error. That's a big one, right? When you think of math, you're always thinking of differentials, margin of error. But yeah, that's a good article right there. And then playing the percentage, right? That's probably one of my number one things when it comes to percentage. No pun intended. When I do my picks, the percentage play plays a huge factor. In fact, I'll get right into it right now with the Raymond Report. That's the system I built about 10 years ago. It's called obviously the Raymond Report, but the fundamentals, and it's just like any fundamentals in investing. For me, it's based on value, percentage play, performance cycles, either players or teams, right? I find teams, and today we talk about that in the percentage play in the articles, the regression of players and teams, the cycles, right? We talk about cycles. Nobody wins forever, nobody loses forever. It's like investing, right? You hopefully you don't lose your money all the time. Eventually you do go on a winning streak, but those streaks are called cycles. Player availability and money management system. I look at teams like A, B, and C type teams. The A type teams, those are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. What comes with high price teams is a high public confidence level, low rewards, like Tampa Bay right now. Try to find try to bet on Tampa Bay at home and get a good price. that's the high public confidence level on good teams, right? And then you got the B type teams, 50 to 59.9. Those are moderate teams. Those are where you find your value. That's where, if even Steven, remember Seinfeld? That's where you find your even Stevens right there. And then your beatables, those are teams that are I label C-type teams. Those are teams with a 49.9 win percentage or lower. Now, those teams, even though they don't win a lot, but when they do, they show you the money, right?
Show me the money!
Yeah, they show you the money, and they depending on, but the thing is, when you're betting on those C-type teams, you're not winning at a very high clip, so you got to find them in the right cycle when to bet on them. It's a strategy. When you're betting and handicapping on underdogs, like Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the mouth, right? But if you're betting underdogs, you do need a strategy to bet them. But the more that I've been involved in this game, 27 years now, you got to find value, percentage play. But it's, to me, you if you're betting favorites win at a high clip, right? The bookmakers are telling you right off the bat who's going to win the game when they give you the favorites, right? So they're telling you that they like that team to win the game. So, that's your first step, right? And then you got to go find the other indicators into that selection to make you feel more comfortable into your pick. And this way, the more confidence you build with your indicators, then the more confidence you have in that pick. And then the chance of you winning go greatly higher. All right, so today, also, when I talk about performance cycles, you're going to hear me talk about teams that are bullish. And NFL, college football, all the football sports, I look at 3-game cycles. And then the other sports, I look at a 7-game cycle. My 10 commandments of sports betting. Normally, this is where I put in my thunder. Hey, the 10 commandments, Ron. All right, don't bet big money on C-type teams. They're like an old high school sweetheart. You know they're going to break your heart. Number 2, never lay points. Take the points or bet the money line, which I've been doing the last 3 years. And I'll tell you, when you've been doing this long enough, and you're not happy with the direction you're taking your bankroll, your money management, then you're getting owned, right?
Joe owned the Chiefs. Owns.
Yeah, you want to own your bookmaker. You got to find ways to be more successful, right? And to me, laying points, take that Geico insurance. I say it all the time on the show. Take the Geico insurance, and you don't need to to sweat out, especially in basketball, right? And in basketball, if you watch the last minute of a basketball game, it can the lead can change like 10 times, and then you're taking out the Pepto-Bismol, the Tums, and you're trying to just like stay on even keel, and you're like, why am I doing this? Why don't I just take the money line and just not sweat out all these points, right? Create your own number, like the ATS calculator. I think once you find a way to create your number and then put it against the bookmaker's number, you'll find that you won't be throwing darts anymore. Follow a disciplined money management system. Yep. You gotta have a plan, right? A money management plan. When you're dealing with money, and I've said this, if you watch the show many times, I'm always talking about money management, right? Because at the end of the day, you can't treat a $10 bet like it's just a $10 bet. It's only $10, right? How many times do you hear, did you win? No, it's only $10. Oh, guess what? That 10 goes to 20, goes to 40, goes to 80, so on and so forth. And next thing you know, you're $1,000 in the hole, right? So don't treat a $10 bet like it's just a $10 bet. Nope. You treat it like it's the last thing that, your last meal of the day type thing, right? You got to get hungry. Never force a pick because you need action on the game. Yeah, you don't do that. Never, right? Joe? Hey, where's my see, I haven't done the show so long. Some of my sound bites are even faded. All right, never force a pick because you need action on the game. Never chase a losing bets on a bad day. Yeah, just eat it and then wait for the next day. Bet with your wallet, not your heart. NHL favorites, right? Remember I talked about this at the beginning of the year? So, what another great year. NHL favorites coming off a 1-goal loss, 60% this year. Last time I checked was like 63, and I'm gonna add another one like 7. That's 7A, and I'm gonna give you 7B. Don't bet on double headers in baseball. That's the number one rule. I think Dave Koken taught me that like 20 years ago. Don't bet on double headers. When you bet on double headers, nothing good ever happens because number one, you don't know in the second game who's going to be in the lineup because you don't know if the bullpen had to go in the first game and in the third inning. And next thing you know, the bullpen's been depleted. So there's so much miscellaneous things that happen in double headers that they're not. And one of the best things this year, and being a veteran sports handicapper, I caught myself about last week. I think I told you guys this on the other podcast. I was remember when Cleveland went to Detroit and they played that double header, and I loved Cleveland that day. I said, you know what? I love Cleveland. And I said, whoa, double header. Ron, what do you know about double headers? What's your rule, right? That's right. Ron doesn't bet on double headers. Good thing I didn't because Cleveland got swept that day. So just one of those things. If you're starting out in sports betting, have rules, right? And that's one of my golden rules. Don't bet on double headers. It's just not a good way. 24-hour rule of betting, that's whenever you come off a big win, enjoy that win because you never know. It's like I tell the football players, right? Every time we have a big win, enjoy it for 24 hours because you never know when you're going to get that next big win. And never bet on teams who are in a bear cycle. Yeah, that's don't do that. Never. Here's my money management system that I recommend. Now, like I told you guys, I got A, B, and C type teams. Those teams with 60 or higher win percentage. Anytime they're away and they're a bullish cycle, I'll bet 1 unit. Anytime they're neutral, so 3 and 4, 4 and 3, and say in baseball, and they're away, that to me, that's a good opportunity. Situational handicapping 101. That's where you want to put 4 units. And a team that is bearish, when in doubt, go back to Rule 10. Never bet on teams who are in a bearish cycle. So teams that are bearish, let them work out the kinks. Let them get out of their streaks before you can trust them. Right? It's when a team is going downhill. It's like the stock market, right? Once the market's crashing, you just close the TV, close the computer, and you live another day. You come back, because it's like trying to catch a falling knife. Anytime a team's going through a bad cycle and a bad losing streak, you just, you don't know when the apex is going to, go the other way, right? So you want to stay away from that. Eight type teams and the home teams that are bullish, 2 units. 8 teams that are neutral, 5. That's my highest bet right there. Home teams that are neutral. So let's say, let's say the Atlanta Braves are at home. They're 3-4 or 4-3 in their last 7 games, and they're playing today. 5 unit recommendation. That's situational handicapping 101 for me when it comes to management. And the reason why is because teams can't win forever, can't lose forever. So they've been win one, lose one type thing, right? So and they have a 60% win percentage, which is top of the food chain when it comes to the type of teams. So I trust more that team than, say, a neutral team and a bear or a C type team in a neutral cycle. And that's my money management system. All right, next Thursday I'll go more into detail into the management down here, but you can see this on the website, and check it out, atsstats.com today. And let's go to your SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and this is like my Dow Jones Industrial. And if you're tuning in for the very first time, enjoy the show, hit that like button. Always appreciate when people show appreciation. And if you want to support the show, always accepting tips, as you can see there. Hey, you know what? Tough times for everybody these days, right? And if you want to keep the broadcast going, we'd appreciate if you guys would support the channel. And so always appreciate that. Now let's take a look at the NBA. Now the NBA, and I told you guys this last week, when it comes to NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, I get to a point into the series where it's like throwing darts, right? A good example is the Rangers and the Devils game yesterday. I love New Jersey last night. It was one of my premium picks. In fact, I had a couple of good picks last night when I go to my premium picks. You can see last night I had the loss with the Angels. That was a 4-unit loss, but I won with Baltimore. I took that Geico insurance. I won with the Blue Jays, minus 160, 4 units. And I had the Devils, +1. That was the only play I had in the NHL last night. And it's got to make sense, right? And, a good team like New Jersey had a great season. And I saw them play here in Ottawa about, 3-4 months ago. And what really stood out to me with the Devils was how big they are. And you get Dougie Hamilton there on the power point, on the blue line on power play. Yeah, it's he's a good quarterback to have there on the blue line. So you got to pick your spots in the NBA, NHL, and normally my rule of thumb is once you get past that 4th game and you go to game 5, 6, and 7, that's when I normally sit them out, because it can go anywhere. Look at the Leafs last year, right? They having a great season. Even Don Cherry said they beat the Tampa Bay, and seeing them win last night, I said, okay, they've been here before. They've won 3 games before. Can they get that 4th win, right? But is it worth enough to put your money on those teams looking to close out the series, right? Miami, what a performance by Jimmy Butler last night. Hey, the Butler did it again last night. Hey, Jimmy playoffs. So Miami's 3-1 over in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, man, I really thought they would be the team, but that's why you play the game. Hey, that's why you play the game, and you get these. Jimmy Butler's in a good performance cycle right now, as they would say. But looking at the NBA right now, the SBI, you can see here, not a lot of volume, right? Not a lot of volume. So really take this with a grain of salt. NBA favorites winning 76.3% of the games the last 7 days, covering the spread 65.6% of the time. And when it comes to the over-under, 53.6% of the games in the NBA have gone over the total the last 7 days. Let's take a look at the NHL. And again, now that we're getting into the 5th, 6th, 7 game series of the first round, I'll probably sit in a lot of picks out. Maybe give a free pick, but you make your money in regular season. That's in sports betting. You make your money in regular season, right? There's a quote of the day for you. Take that to the I wouldn't say the bank, because especially these regional banks, the way they're falling lately, I wouldn't take them to there. But take it maybe to the Salvation Army. But keep an eye on the NHL favorites, look at that, 53.6%. That's not good. If you know, normally if you look at the regular season, NHL favorites were winning at a 62.5% clip. In the last 7 days, 53.6. So welcome to the NHL playoffs. 67.9% of the games have gone over the total in the NHL. Wow, look at this. The over is on a 5-0-2 run the last, not even 1 day for the under. So yeah, if you're betting unders in NHL, you're not smiling like a butcher's dog right now, because you're getting it handed to you. Let's take a look at the Major League Baseball. Let's take a look at baseball right now. And you can see last night only 11 games, 6-5 for the favorite. But look at this. In the last 2 weeks, only 1 day, and it was a low volume day, 4-3 on April 13th. The underdogs won today. It's been favorites. Major League Baseball has been all favorites. 60% since the beginning of the season. Last 7 days, 63.4. So if you're betting favorites in all sports, especially in baseball, you're probably doing very well. Betting Major League Baseball favorites. The over-under is at 56.7%, unlike the NHL playoffs. A lot of games have gone under the last 7 days, 5 days to 2 favoring the under. So that's where you're making some of your money these days in Major League Baseball. All right, let's go to the MVI, the Market Value Index, and don't look now. Remember I told you guys last week, I said there's 4 under-the-radar teams I'm looking at right now. Pittsburgh Pirates were one of them. Remember that? Pittsburgh Pirates. I said also I'm looking at the Chicago Cubs, Arizona, and Miami. Now, Miami and Arizona has fallen down a bit lately, but good news is they're still in a neutral cycle. They've reached my 20-game limit. So anytime I handicap baseball during the years, I always use the first 20-game gauge to those teams that I can trust. Can I trust these teams? And I've been, looking at these teams, Pittsburgh, and I'm looking at Miami, Arizona, and the Chicago Cubs. Last year was Seattle, but Seattle not so much this year, right? Seattle not 10-12 on the year. Philadelphia had a good run in the second half, not so much this year. Still a C-type team. Cleveland, I don't know what's going on in Cleveland, but they're having trouble getting wins together here. 11-12 on the year. St. Louis, same thing. In fact, that hold. Let me check out that division standings. Let's go to the Central Division, National Central. Yeah. Pittsburgh, when the Pittsburgh Pirates are your league leaders in the Central Division, the baseball season's having a different year, right? The Brew Crew, the Brew Crew's been they've been good for the last couple of years, and the Cubs are there, but yeah, the St. Louis Cardinals probably the team the most disappointing this year in the first 20 games of the season. But Tampa Bay, the Cash Man can. Love Kevin Cash. He's been money, hey? Holy cash. That's it's not holy cow, it's holy cash. But 23 for Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh 16-7. Baltimore, that American League East, wouldn't want to be a team in that division trying to fight. Every team, even Boston now has a 500 record. Every team in the American League East has a winning record except for Boston. They're at 500. Yankees 13-10. Toronto 14-9. Baltimore 15-7, and there's Tampa Bay 20-3. Is Tampa Bay going to be able to keep that up? The thing with Tampa Bay, and I don't want to jinx them because I do like the Rays, I'll knock on wood, it's always been the injuries. It's always been trying to keep everybody healthy, that pitching staff healthy. Hopefully I just didn't jinx them there. But if they can stay healthy, man, to keep up that pace would be that'd be crazy. Who knows? Look at the Boston Bruins this year, right? Nobody expected the Bruins to be. When I look at the Boston Bruins, you say to yourself, who's the guy? Who's the guy in Boston? It's two guys. It's 2 goaltenders. Allmark and Swayman. But when you look at Boston, they score by committee. They're like bullpen by committee on ice. That's the Boston Bruins. They don't have that one guy. When you got Taylor Hall pitching in here, and then you got DeBrusk, and you got Pasta and all those guys. They're my pick to win the Stanley Cup. I said at the beginning, and they're, to me, a complete team. They got everything on that team. So we'll see if they can close out Florida. But they're a good-looking team right now. Texas Rangers looking really good. Made some key acquisitions during the offseason. Atlanta, You know, they're there all the time. Toronto. Now, the thing I said at the top of the show, the Toronto Blue Jays. You know what the Blue Jays did? They drove me nuts. I'm a Toronto Blue Jay fan. But I live in Ottawa. But it's just what drove me nuts last year was every time you look at a Blue Jay game, it was like a festival. It was like Festivus. The only thing missing was the Festivus pole in the dugout, with the Costanza Festivus pole. But yeah, no, the Blue Jays, they look more serious this year. Schneider's doing a great job. That you can tell they went out, got some leadership, and that's what was missing. And I'm glad they retired the jacket. It was fun. It was cute. That jacket was cute. But when there's a sense of seriousness that you have to have in pro sports, right? And it can't be 24/7 party time or Festivus. But Toronto looks like a team that we'll see. There's still some question marks for me. But we'll see. We know they can. We know they can hit. It's the pitching I want to see if they can get through. Using Romanov a lot, but hopefully you don't overuse them this year. But if you're using Romanov a lot, that means you're in a good situation in the ninth inning. So I don't know. That's a good problem to have, I guess. New York Mets, 14-9. Yankees 13-10. Cubbies surprisingly. Minnesota. Arizona, one of my teams that I thought, I said at the beginning of the year, I said, I love this pitching staff, Zach Davies, Gallen, then didn't work out with Madison Bumgarner, but Arizona looking good in the, Miami too. Miami's like a team like, they're on a champagne drunk on a beer budget. That's what Miami is. They're a champagne drunk on a beer budget. Just got a great team, but don't have a lot of the budget to really go around like the Yankees and Toronto, right? When you look at the salary cap. And then there's your defending World Series champion, Houston. And then they got the Halos. Mike Trout's got to win a World Series. If he's, a great baseball player, he's got to win something. The Dan Marino of, I hate to use this term because I really like Mike Trout, but you don't want to be the Dan Marino. No disrespect to Dan, but that's what happens when you don't win the championship, right? You get labeled like that. San Diego, Boston, those are your B-type teams, and you can follow this each and every day right here on the REM Report. Go to your dashboard, go to your market value index, and then you can follow along each and every day. Go find those teams in the right cycle, right? All right, again, welcome to the show. My name is Ron Raymond, based out of Ottawa. Been doing this for 27 years. The first site I ever had was the Phoenix Sports Ticket, the PST, back in the day. Actually, I retired that site this year. Just, I had like 50 some sites that I created over the last 27 years, and just trying to keep 50 websites going is a little bit hard, Just it's a little bit crazy. So I boiled it down to a few sites now, and so Phoenix Sports was where I first hung my hat back in the day, and ATS Stats is probably my prize jewel right now, along with the World Series of Handicapping, bullpenpicks.com, hockeypicks.com, parlay calculator, and what else? I got a few other ones. But if you're out there in the internet land, if you're one of the Breakfast Club members and you're out there and want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good night wherever you're located, just show up in the bullpen. A little bit of a roll call. Let's see who's out there.
Put that coffee down.
Yeah, there's one for my good friend Gloria K. But let's go to the Major League Baseball computer picks, and let's see what the computer picks. In fact, the computer picks have been on a really nice run lately. Look at this. I pointed this out yesterday. NHL computer picks, 69%, NBA 68%, Major League Baseball 55%. That was before last night's game. So the computer picks having a really good season so far. And let's take a look at some of the games here today in Major League Baseball. No afternoon delights, but we do have a game at Progressive Field between the Guardians and the Rockies. Now the Rockies spanking the Guardians last night. 6-0 was the final. Ryan Feltner going up against Peyton Battenfield today for the Guardians. -200 line. 8 is the total. And we are going to lean with Cleveland. Yeah, we're going to go with the Guardians in this one. 4.7 to 3.4. The over-under at 8.23. 65.9% chance of winning here for the Guardians. And keep an eye on the weather. It doesn't look good. I'm seeing on some overcast, and 64% chance of rain tonight at first pitch. and we'll see what happens there. All right, the Boston Red Sox, a little American League East Division rivalry here going on. We got the Orioles sending Kyle Bradish to the hill, or Bradish, against the old veteran Corey Kluber, going to toe the rubber here today for the Red Sox. Minus 156 is the line, 8.5 is the total, and don't look now, but holy cow.
Holy cow!
Baltimore is on a 7-game win streak, while the over is 3-0 for the Boston Red Sox, and we are going to lean with Baltimore tonight. 4.6 to 4.1, the over-under at 8.79. So we do like this game to fly over the total. And looking at some of the numbers, look at Baltimore. Hey, we see you, Baltimore, 9-1 straight up in your last 10 games. Strength of schedule, though, 40.8. So play somebody. Hey, play somebody, will you? Minus 149 was my line. Remember the value index I was telling you guys about? Check my line compared to the bookmaker's line. And again, I'd rather take a team that's overvalued than undervalued any day of the week. All right, the LA Dodgers not having a really good season, 12-11, even though they did get that 7-3 win yesterday. And today they're going to send Noah Syndergaard against Luis Oviedo for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now the Dodgers a 120 favorite. 8.5 is the total. Is this more of a reputation line? But you know what? Syndergaard had a good outing last game. He looked really good. Was it the Mets he played? Remember he had, wasn't that the game where Scherzer got booted, I think? But yeah, he did really well. Minus 120 is the line here. I don't know. This seems like more of a reputation of, the Dodgers thinking, the mindset. Remember, I talk about this all the time. Perception versus reality, right? What's the perception if of the last 3-4 years when you see this matchup, right? But the reality is Pittsburgh's really good this year. But the perception is they haven't been good the last couple of years, so it reflects into the line, right? So that is the perception versus reality angle. I warn you guys all the time. But go with your gut, your sports gut. 120 is the line. 4.6 for LA, 4.3 for the Bucks. The over-under land on 9.01. So we do like this game to go over the total. Last 4 games for the Pittsburgh Pirates have gone under. Their strength of schedule last 7. Wow. Okay, that maybe explains a lot. 20.4. Yeah. Okay. That see when you go inside the numbers, you holy cow.
Struggling.
No, they're not struggling.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, they've been straight cash, but 20.4 is not straight cash. Pittsburgh, 57.1 strength of schedule. You know what? Just based on that, I kind of like the Dodgers here tonight. I'll have to look at Syndergaard's road record the last couple of... it's too early to see in the season. Let me see last year. 0-3 to start the year. 0-3. I thought he had a good outing, though, against the Mets. Yeah, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. But on the road, let me see. Last year, Syndergaard on the road... 3-7, yeah. So bit of a Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. Does very well at home, not well on the road. In fact, the last 2 years, in 2001, 3-9 on the road. This year already starting 0-1. Yeah, you know what? Might have to sit this one out like a good NHL NBA playoff game. Back in the day, I think I had AOL, says Bobby. yeah. Did you have running water, Bobby, too? Or hey, might have had a beta video. All right, back in the day. Hey, that means we've been here a while. That's good, though. Minus 160. Okay, what game are we at here? We're at the Tampa Bay Rays, the 20-3 Tampa Bay Rays. Just like the Buckaroos, play somebody, will you? 22.4 strength of schedule against the Houston Astros. 8-3 loss for the Astros in their last game against the Tampa Bay Rays. And today, minus 160. Drew Rasmussen is going up against Brian Garcia for the Houston Astros. And let me see here. 56.6% chance of winning for Tampa Bay. 40.6 for the Houston Astros. And let me see here. What else? 6-game win streak. Look at Tampa Bay on a 6-game win streak. 7-3 in the last 10. Had them at minus 222 on my value index. A bullish against B bullish. You know what? Let me check out Garcia's number in the last. Let me see. Garcia. Isn't that the Grateful Dead singer, Garcia? Let me see here. Luis Garcia, 1-2, 5.14 ERA against Rasmussen. 3-1, 2.01 ERA. You know what? I'll have to look into that more. I kind of like Houston here, though. I kind of like the veteran team here. I just don't know if I want to go with Garcia on the road. Seattle Mariners taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, the Mariners a 120 chalk. Logan Gilbert going up against Bailey Falter. Now, Gilbert, I believe he's a lefty. Isn't he a lefty? Let me see. Logan Gilbert. Survey says, where's Logan? Yeah, no, righty. Okay. Yeah, Bailey Falter's lefty. All right. So you got a lefty against a righty. Seattle last game against St. Louis. So they've been off. So both these teams on 1 day's rest. Seattle losing their last game to St. Louis 7-3, while the Phillies winning 9-3 against Colorado. Urena was pitching though. Got to mention that. Another strength of schedule. Wow, what these teams aren't playing anybody lately. 40.8 for Seattle. We're going to lean with the Mariners in this one. 4.7 to 4.2. The over-under at 9.03. Looking for Seattle to break out. You know what? They haven't really done anything of I don't know. I'd have to go look at their number, but they're not the same team as last year, and I don't know if you can trust them, right? Yeah, I like the Astros today. It says Boss Hog 707. I kind of agree with you, boss. I kind of agree with you. Texas Rangers, Cincinnati Reds, -150 is the line, and you can see here the Rangers going to send Martin Perez. I like Martin Perez. Perez is a solid pitcher. In fact, 3-1, 3.38 ERA against Luke Weaver for the Cincinnati Reds. Weaver 0-1 with a ERA of 6, so I'd have to check his starts. I don't think he's had many starts. 43.8% chance of winning on the Cal compared to 50.7 for the Rangers. We do like Texas though. Texas 5.07, 4.4. The over-under at 9.49. Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Chicago White Sox. Now the Sox on a 5-game lose streak. I don't know what's going on with the Chicago White Sox. Hey, it's they're not. This just in. They're not a good team. They are, as Joe Namath would say,
Struggling.
Yeah, struggling at 7-16. Toronto 14-9 straight up on the season. Needed one big inning really last night. When you look at the Toronto Blue Jays game last night, they had that one big inning where they was it 3 or 4 runs in that one inning, and next thing you know it was 4-2, and then the final was 5-2 for the Blue Jays, and they're now on a 2-game win streak. Last 4 games for Toronto have gone under the total, and we do have the Jays winning tonight 5.3 against 3.69. Jose Barrios, Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. Barrios, yeah, when he's on the road, you probably want to stay away from him. But let me see, on the road this year, so far, in one start, 2 starts, 3 starts. Yeah, 0-3 on the road, 1-0 at home. Barrios has always been like that though. Like last year, 15-7 at home, 10-12 on the road. So be careful if you do like the Blue Jays here today. Clevenger not having the Clevenger wasn't he with the Cleveland? Was it last year? Was it last year? Chicago White Sox, San Diego, that's right. And then he got traded from Cleveland. Yeah, he, let me see, this year to start the season, Mike Clevenger is 2-1, 3.26 ERA. What did he do in his last start? Let's check out Clevenger's last start. April 19th against Philadelphia, only went 3 innings. So Baltimore, he went 6 innings. Pittsburgh went 5 innings, and at Houston. So you know what? He's played some really good teams. Houston, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Phillies. Those are 4 really good teams. So I kind of, here's the thing. Do I really want to go against the Blue Jays and take Chicago White Sox? Not really, but I might take the run line. If I do like Chicago, the run line is where I'd probably lean. Probably get a little bit of value. But the only thing is, it's too bad it's not at that guaranteed rate field, because Barrios on the road. Barrios at home, a little bit different story, right? But I do like the Blue Jays here tonight, 5.3 to 3.6. I think the value is in the run line though. I think that's where the value lies. All right, let's take a look at the New York Mets taking on the Washington Nationals. 198 is the line, 8.5 is the total. Dylan Bundy going up against Sam Clay, and looking at minus 198. 8.5 is the total, and we're going to lean with the Metropolitans in this one. 5.2 to 3.6, the over-under at 8.88. New York coming in on a 2-game lose streak. Losing last night, 2 nights ago, against San Fran, 5-4. Yeah, wasn't that the Sunday night game of the week? 5-4. And then let me see, Washington 3-1 to the Twinkies in their last game. 7-14 the Nats are this year. 3-7 the last 10. Strength of schedule 55.1, where the Metropolitans 57.1. I had New York at minus 129. Overvalued today at Citi Field. First pitch 7:10. Atlanta Braves, Charlie Morton going up against Hoying here. And let me check out the numbers. Let's get inside the numbers with these 2 hurlers tonight. And you can see, where's Charlie? Hang on here. Let me get this. All right, 2-2 in a year, 3.2 ERA. Brian Hoying, looks like it's his first start. Looks like it's Brian's first start here. Hang on here. Let me check. Yeah, he got called up. So You got a call up here tonight against Atlanta. You know what? The Miami, though, the one thing they do have is good pitching, but it wasn't good last night. 11-0 was the final. And Miami's 12-11 on the year, 15-8 for Atlanta. 225 is the line, 208. Okay, I like it. I do like Atlanta here tonight, but a little bit chalky at minus 225. All right, can you go over the league trend with the away teams losing first game in a series? All right, so can you go over the league trends with away teams losing the first game in a series? Yeah, I can check that out. Give me a second. Hopefully the database is working. Milwaukee, minus 170 is the line. 8.5 is the total. We're going to go with the Brew Crew. 5.02 to 4.1, the over-under at 9.18. 57.02% chance of winning. And looking at the Brew Crew, 15-8 on the year. Detroit, 8-13. Yeah, Detroit, what can you say? Spencer Turnbull up against Eric Lauer of Milwaukee. Milwaukee is, hey, to me, I think Milwaukee will be the team that takes the Central, but later on in maybe like July, August. We'll see what the Bucks do. The Bucks they're playing some really good baseball. I like some of the players they have. Yankees against the Twins. I do like, look at that, a stalemate. 3.7 to 3.74, right? 3.74 to 3.74. You got Ryan Borucki, former Blue Jay, going up against the Stash Nestor Cortez Jr. tonight. Yankees coming off a 6-1 loss to Minnesota yesterday. And maybe a bounce back game here today with Nestor going up against Borucki. The last 2 games I've gotten under for Minnesota, last 4. So the Kogo, that's why the Kogo is very high. Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total. The percentage play is at 76%. And you know what? Going to sit that one out. Cubbies taking on the Padres. You got Justin Steele against Blake Snell. That's a good pitching matchup right there. Minus 125 is the line. 7.5 is the total. I'm going to go with the Cubbies in this one. 4.2 to 3.8. The over-under at 8.07. Now, both these teams playing on 1 day's rest. So, game 1 of a series. I had the Cubs at minus 153. Strength of schedule is pretty respectable at 44.9 compared to 42.8. 500 team. San Diego's 500, and we'll see what they do today at Wrigley. First pitch under the lights, 7:40 Eastern. I got the Halos beating the A's, 4.8 to 3.9. The over-under at 8.81. You got, let me see, starting pitcher Griffin Canning up against Andrew Miller of the Athletics. Kansas City taking on Arizona. We got the D-backs winning this one. In fact, they won, was it yesterday, 5-4 against Kansas City. You got Jimmy Nelson going up against Brady Singer of the Kansas City Royals, 4.9 to 4.6. The over-under at 9.54. And then you got the San Francisco Giants beating St. Louis, 4.6 to 4.3. The over-under landing on 9.02. John Breba up against Jake Woodford. All right, let me see here. Go Cubs, go. Justin Steele has been great this year. I think it's a good value at minus 120. I agree with you, Scott. Absolutely. Cubs, hey, the Cubs, the Pirates, Arizona at the beginning, not so much of late. And what was the other team I said? Miami. Yeah, keep an eye on those teams, value teams, right? But yeah, Justin Steele, I do like Justin Steele. All right, so the question was, can you go over league trends on away teams losing the first game in a series? Yep, let's go here to the super database. Let's go here. So any away teams playing the second game of a series, coming off a loss in game 1 of a series. All right, so where's my coming off a loss in game 1 of a series this season? Hopefully this works. All right, so let me see if I got that right. Yep, yeah, pretty even, 25 and 25 on the year. So the query was this. Let me do it in a different way. Coming off, oops. So let me see. Do this. Any away team coming off a loss in game 1 of a series, 25 and 26. I don't know why I gave us a different number there, but 29, 20 and 2 to the over. So yeah, not a great stat. Well, what game are you looking at there, boss? Is it a dog or is it a favorite? So let me see. Coming off a loss in game 1 of a series. So let me do game 2 of a series. Second game of a series coming off we'll just do coming off a loss. Should give us 25, yep. But 29 and 19 and 2 to the over. So the over is where you get your value, boss. Yeah, so hopefully that works out for you. All right, remember that stat I was telling you about in NHL? Home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. So last time I checked was like 63%. It was unbelievable. All right, let me go back here. Coming off a 1-goal loss this season. Yeah, I'm curious what you're looking for, boss. Were you looking at the total or the side in that game? Look at that. Wow. 116 to 62. Hey, pearls, baby. That's what we give them. We give them the pearls. 116 plus 62 equals 178. Then we'll do 116 divided by 178. Survey says 65%. Holy cow.
Holy cow.
The Astros. Yeah, the Astros. I like it. I like it, boss. Yeah, I do like that. 60. Isn't that amazing? Hey, home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss this year in NHL, winning 65% of their games. That's pretty good. All right, let's get to the next one. NHL. We got 2 games tonight in the Bettman circuit. And, we're getting to that point, right, where, let me go to NHL. Dallas, this is the series to me. This series can go either way. Oh, that's the trends. No, I don't want the trends. I'll get the trends after. Trends are your friends, but they don't pay the rent. Always remember that. NHL. And let's take a look. Yeah, the Islanders, Carolina, could be lights out tonight. New York, just... You know what? They're playing too defensive. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, you got to score goals. You can't win hockey games if you don't score more than 1 or 2 goals a game, right? And you know what? I'm gonna go into the Raymond report since there's only a couple of games. Let's use the real deal. Hey, we got the real deal. Why don't we just take out the big guns right here? Let's go to the Minnesota and Dallas. That's that to me, this series, it's going 7. I said from the beginning this series would go 7. I thought it was this one I said, but tonight, let me see some of the right here. Just gonna bring up some other resources, and let me go there. All right, Sorokin against Antti Ranta, or actually, that's the other Jake Ottinger. Yeah, Ottinger, phenomenal game. Phillips Gustafsson. Gustafsson, Ottawa center where I'm from. Ottawa, all they do is give out their best goalies. Yeah, you're welcome, Minnesota. Hey, can we have him back, and we'll give you back Talbot? Hey, you can't trust. Here's my thing. I know. Here's the Ron Raymond. I need a Ron Raymond rant. In professional sports, you can't sign athletes who are always injured. You can't trust them. Athletes that are always injured, you could be a Nobel Peace Prize winner. That means nothing if you can't be in the lineup. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't sign porcelain players when fans are paying big bucks to watch and supporting their team, right? You go out and you spend like $5-6 million on a goalie and he plays like 30 games. That makes no sense. Minus 141, and hence why they released them, right? Minus 141, 5.5 is the total. Yeah, this is going to be one of those series where the home team will always probably be the favorites, right? One of those situations. Dallas, when you look at their starting lineup, you got Jake Oettinger, Gustafsson. Who's going to score the goals, right? Who's going to score the goals for both these teams going into the playoffs? Let's take a look at the standings so far in the stats. Let me go to NHL. Go to teams. Let's go to Dallas. Let's take a look at Dallas in the playoffs so far. And let's go to stats. I didn't join a pool this year. I think it's the first time in like 20-some years I didn't join a pool. Rope Hintz, 8 points. Heiskanen, 5 points. Robertson, 4. Only 1 goal, though. Robertson only got 1 goal. That's the guy. That's the guy that got to get going. And then you look at Minnesota. Minnesota, it's almost like the Minnesota Wild remind me of the Devils of the 90s. And you remember Larry Robinson, the left, the left wing lock, or the trap, or Jacques Lemaire. Yeah, Jacques Lemaire's that's Minnesota. And when you look at Minnesota, I think of the trap. I think of Jacques Lemaire's trap. Hey, the only thing is Martin Berdeur's not playing in nets for them. Ryan Hartman, Zuccarello, Klingberg. Yeah, so yeah, you see. They're getting production. They're getting production from their guys, but it's bullpen by committee. Dallas' big guys aren't scoring yet. How many goals does Jamie Benn have? Jamie Benn, 1 goal. That's Dadonov, 3 goals. Not bad. No assists. Tyler Seguin, 3 goals. Who's Pavelski? Yeah, Pavelski, especially Pavelski. That guy's supposed to be a playoff. He's supposed to be the Jimmy Butler of hockey right now. Hey, but he's not. Suter, Harley, yeah. So Max Domi too. Let me see here. Yeah, no. So Pavelski's got to get going. If Pavelski can get going, I think Dallas takes it. If not, I think that's the difference in that series tonight. I do like Dallas here tonight. I do like the Dallas Stars. Big win last game, 3-2. Oettinger stood on his head. 5-1 the game before, 7-3, 3-2. So look at those first two games in Dallas. One goal game here and then a blowout. But you get Pavelski going tonight. I think Dallas is the play. LA against Edmonton. What a comeback for the Oilers. When you got the two top scorers in the league, that's their job, right? Put the biscuit in the basket. And that's what they're doing. The Edmonton has always been goaltending. So you go back the last 3, 4, 5 years. It's, are the goaltenders going to be able to hold the fort for tonight? Stuart Skinner, Korpisalo. We'll see tonight. Let me see here. Let's take a look. This again, when you get to game 5 in the series, game 6, anything can happen. Now if Kings plus a goal and a half. Let me see what the line is on the 1.5. It's probably a little bit chalky, right? Let me check out the line here. Let me go to my out and see what the line is on the wrong one. All right, let me take a look here at the puck line, the odds. LA Kings. Oh, not bad. Minus 131. That's really good. Why is it really good? See, I was looking at minus 190, minus 200 for the puck line, but now here's the handicapper in me. Okay, what's the bookmaker thinking? Hey, what does my good friend Ross says? Think like a bookmaker. What does the bookmaker see that we don't see? Why is the puck line only minus 131? I thought for sure this would be in like the minus 190, 200. Yeah, and this is why I don't bet game 5 to 7s, right? It's the best thing for you guys to do is sit this one out or play the total. But this, I think every series has gone over, hasn't it? Let me see here. Yeah, okay, you got 9 goals there, 5 goals here, 6. Oh, actually, you know what? 2-2. So we're at 2-2. First game back. See, now that's the series is what, tied or 3-1? Let me see. The Kings won. The Oilers 2-2. Yeah, the series tied 2-2. So yeah, this could be a long series. I don't know. We're throwing darts here, and that's the thing. When you get to, and this is why I say all the time, when you're betting into playoff sports, especially NBA, anything can happen. One bad penalty, a 5-on-3. Next thing you know, it's 4-0 right out of the gate, right? It's anything can happen, but you got to feel it. The one thing is sports bettors, if you don't feel it, leave it, right? If you don't feel the game, you leave the game. Love it, don't like it. I can probably come up with 10 more friggin' analogies, but you get what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I did. Anyways, we'll go back at it. I do have Carolina winning here tonight. Yeah, I think they close it up. I think they go to rally tonight, and I think they close them out tonight. It's just when you look at the Islanders, the last couple of games, 2 goals. They had 5-1 here, but that was like let's be honest, that was a 2-1 game with 2 minutes left. Hey, that pissed off a lot of overbettors that game. That was a 2-1 game or a 1-1 game in the third, and next thing you know, it ended up 5-1. I hate those games. I even told my wife, I go, this game's going over, right? It was 1-1 and they scored. I said, they're going to pull the goalie. They're going to score one, score another. I said, this game's going right over. Yeah. I remember that game. All right, let's go to NBA. Let's take a look at the NBA, and let's take a look at the association. Kings and Oilers beating each other up. I'm thinking Kings on the road plus 1.5. That's what I would think, but I don't like that line, Scott. I don't like that. I don't like that line. Minus 135. Like, why is it 135 and not minus 190? The line will tell you what the line will tell you. Hey, and the line's telling me stay off that game, Ron. That's what the line's telling me. All right, the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, the bookmakers are telling you this one here. Turn out the lights. Hey, turn out the lights. The party's over. Looking at the 3-1 in series now. All right, so yeah, Boston 3-1, 3-1. Everything's 3-1 tonight. This one here, like I said, turn out the light. This one's over. When you got no Paul George, and let me see here. When Batman and Robin are out, that's it. When Batman and Robin are out, that's it. So this one's over tonight. 120 to I would pass. I don't think to be honest, it's either you play the total or you sit it out. If you like the basketball game tonight, you either play the total or you sit it out. Or, do you really think the Clippers can keep it close? It's too bad though, because I bought a futures ticket on the Clippers thinking that they'd had a shot with. I thought George would be back, but they're not. Teed says Boss Hog. Yeah, not happening. Boston minus 13. That's a big line. That is a huge line. And when you look at the lineup, it's Boston's 119. I got them winning by 10. If you like Atlanta, do they keep it close? 13 though. It's just you're not laying 13. You're not playing the money line. This one could be out tonight too. And do you want to go against Boston at home or 34-9, 24-18-1? In fact, let me go to my let me check out my. Let's go to the database just for funs and giggles. Let's go to Super Database. And let's see, Scott. Hey, Scott, appreciate it. Thanks for the tip, Scott. Appreciate you. And let's go to here. Let's go to NBA. Let me see here. Yeah, NBA. And if there's any queries you guys want me to check out for you, just let her rip in the chat. Let me see here. Let's go 10 or more favorite. When the Boston Celtics will do this season and more. 10 or more favorite at home this year. Let's see what the old Richard Dawson survey says. Let's do a survey says right here. Survey says 10-10 to the over-under. 9-10-1. Look at that. Oh, really? 13-7 as a home favorite. Wow. You know what? That when the Boston Celtics are 10 or more home favorite, this should be like 15 and let me see here. 15 and 5. It should be 75%. That doesn't give me a lot of confidence. But they're only 9-10-1. And look at the over-under. Yeah. Be careful. Be careful out there. I think that's probably a game you don't want to touch. What a crazy game that was at the last 3 minutes of that game. In the last game, like even Trae Young was. I always said Trae Young is like another version of Allen Iverson. When I see Trae Young, I see Allen Iverson. I don't know if it's the sleeve, but to me, I said this for 5 years. He's just like he has that same basketball demeanor on the floor like Iverson had. But yeah, not touching that game. And then let me see here, Minnesota against Denver. Yeah, this one here has been boring. Hey, what did Charles Barkley said? He turned on the hockey instead of watching this game. I don't blame you, Charles. That's all double-digit numbers tonight. 113-107, and the game's in Denver. It could be over at third quarter. If you're going to 18-4, Denver's 18-4 against the B-type teams, 16-6. Let me see here, 10 points. Let me see what Denver's. When Denver is, let's see the Denver Nuggets 10 or more at home. Oh, you know what? Okay, let me go back to Boston. I did or more favorite. Let me do home favorite. I didn't do home favorite. Let me see, 10 or more. Where's my 10 or more home favorite? Do I have it? I don't think I have it. Hang on. Okay. Let me try it this way. 11-4. Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking at more. Anytime Boston's a 9.5 to 12 point favorite, they are. See, that's more like it. 11-4. There's your 75% or higher, right? What I did was I did 10 or more favorite, home or away. That's why. So let me see. Yeah, so there you go. All right, let me see here. Oh, Denver. Yeah, I want to do Denver. Let's see, when Denver is a home favorite of 10 or more, 9.5 to 12 point favorite. Look at that, 8-0 perfect. They're perfect. 5-3, 4-4. Again, we're getting into when the public has had an opportunity to see these two teams play for 4 games 5 games, 6 games. Everybody's, you've dissected the frog type thing, right? You know what you're getting. And to me, this should be a clean sweep for favorites tonight, straight up. If you're going to bet it, I think the total is where you want to go. All right, let me see here. Let me go. I want to show you this before I go, and then I'll get into the trends. Playing the percentages. So in the 12-part series of sports betting, in our 4th article, we're talking about playing the percentages, right? And when you play the percentages, we're looking at using historical data, applying advanced analytics. Now, historical data is good because it tells you what teams in the past have done, what current teams going into the current situation they're in, right? So let's say a team is a home favorite coming off 3 wins. They scored 220 or more in the last 2 games. What did those teams in the past? Because what you're really handicapping, you're not handicapping the outcome of those games. You know what you're really handicapping? The mindset of the bookmaker on why they posted that line in the total of that game. So always remember that. When you are handicapping the percentage play of past previous games, you're really handicapping why the bookmaker posted that number, what they did. Because what you're doing is when you're querying and searching for those indicators, those facts, you're putting in the bookmaker's line, right? Who's the home favorite? What was the total? Why did the total come to that, in the past? And does it, in sync with today? And then you're applying the advanced analytics. My advanced analytics is based on cycles. Everything is based on cycles for me because, again, what goes up must come down. And if you want to win in sports betting, you got to find the right cycle when to bet on a team. And consider situational factors, right? Situational handicapping, injuries, weather conditioning, team dynamics, all those things that I talk about in the handicapping, the look ahead, the letdown, all those situational handicapping that we talk about on the show, you got to factor that into the percentage play. Then the law of adversary, right? I consider the law of adversary because when I look at the top 3 teams in the Raymond report, I talk about the A, B, and the C type teams. There's a law of adversary there because what goes up must come down. And when I talk about the law of adversary, here we talk about bettors that can apply the law of adversary to their advantage in several ways, right? Regressions to the mean. Teams or players that perform exceptionally well or poorly over a short period are likely to regress to their true level of performance eventually. Bettors can capitalize on this phenomenon by identifying situations where regression is likely and placing bets accordingly. So let's say Jimmy Butler, right? Do we all think Jimmy Butler's going to have another 50-point night tomorrow? I don't think so. Hey, guess what? The Milwaukee's coaching staff's probably sitting there right now in the film room going, we're not letting this happen tonight, right? Let's find out how he got this, what really triggered him to get 50-some points, and how do we defend it? Identifying overreactions. Perfect thing about the law of adversary, the public overreaction, the media's overreaction to things, right? Last night, are we going to see an overreaction to Jimmy Butler's great performance last night, right? And your bankroll. Recognize the outcome will even out over time, just like your bankroll. Bettors can adopt disciplined approach to bankroll management, ensuring that they do not overextend themselves during a short-term losing streak. Yeah, you know what? We've all been there, right? We've all been there.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, when we lost that straight cash. And the thing is, you got to know from bankroll management, money management system, the number one word I use all the time, discipline. What is your disciplined money management system? And the thing is, you have to have a management system in managing your bankroll because remember I told you at the beginning of the show, you can't treat $10 like it's only $10. There's value in that $10 because what $10 means to you could be what it means to a whale or a shark, a big bettor who bets $1,000, right? $10,000. No matter, there's a value attached to that amount of money that you wager on, and you really got to value. And really, money is just a value and of what you're really betting into, right? You're putting $10 of value into your opinion, into your pick, to hopefully win back another 10 or more depending on what you're betting into, right? So you got to make sure that whatever you're betting into, that there's research behind it, and that don't let those short-term losing streak weigh you down, right? Because you probably go on a short-term losing streak, lose 3, but you might go on a 3, 4, 5 game winning streak as well. That's where the law of average theory and bringing it back home to the law of average, that's what it's all about, right? So check out these articles. They're at the website. I think you're going to enjoy these. And now's the time to do it, right? Now that, we're winding down the NHL, NBA, and Major League Baseball. I love, baseball is one of the best sports to bet on during the summer. It's just, it's like football every day. There's like 15 games, right? There's like 15 games of football games going on, but it's on a baseball field. And then, we don't have to worry about, once we get to like May, June, July, don't have to, unless you're betting Canadian football, then you don't have to worry about the grind, right? You need a break when you're in sports betting, and once August comes, then we're back to the grind. I call it the grind season, right? When you get to September, September you got college football, NFL, then you got NHL coming back in October, NBA, and then the grind happens, right? But this is the best time of year to, if you're into sports betting and you want to learn more about it, and you really want to get a handle on a system, on a way. It's like investing, right? You go see your banker or an investment broker, or so you go get some consultation on how you should invest your money. It's the same thing in sports betting, right? You got a lot of great handicappers out there who've been doing this a long time, and if you respect the handicapper that you go to, and they have a proven track record, hey, follow them, see how they do, check out their picks, and then invest in them, just like you would an investment broker, right? Like a Edward Jones type thing, right? It's the same thing. That's what handicappers are, like Edward Joneses of sports betting. All right, let's get to stats and trends, and we talk about it all the time. And every time I play stats and trends, I got to go to my AI this is my favorite clip.
We talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
No, we're not talking practice. We're talking about the 80% Club, and you can find the 80% Club each and every day right here at atsstats.com. And the 80% Club is number one stat today. The over is 16-2 for Arizona as a home team, coming off an American Conference opponent the last 2 years. 17-3 over when they're a home team after same thing almost. The Cubs 11-2 as a home team, coming off 3 overs the last 4 years. So look at that, the Cubbies 11-2 as a home team, coming off 3 overs the last 4 years. Let me see here. The Cincinnati Reds, the over is 10-2 for the Reds as a home team, coming off a game where they scored 7 runs for the last 2 years. And let's one more for the show, one more for the road, as they say. 2 for the money. The under 9-2 for the Marlins as an away team, coming off a game where they allowed 11 runs against last 6 years. That's good for 81.8%. Let's see if there's any good NBA trends tonight. And let me see here. Let's go to the Celtics. 29-1 as a 10 or more home favorite, coming off a win against an Eastern Southeast Division opponent, and that goes back to 1996. And let me see if there's any good NHL trends. Hey, I try to say stats and trends. Stens. Is that a new word? Stens. Hey, I do that a lot. I get too carried away, and I want to put 2 words in one. The Oilers 9-1 as a home favorite, playing the month of April the last 2 years. That's good for 90%. And the Hurricanes 10-2 on a Ruby Tuesday. In fact, let me go to my old 80% Club stats. Normally for the NHL, I like to go to the old 80% Club stats. I find I got better stats in the old 80% Club. Let me see. Islanders on the puck line as a road underdog versus a Metropolitan Division opponent. 36-9 last 45 games. Pretty good. If you like the Islanders on the puck line, let's see if they go. If they go down tonight, they go down with a fight. Carolina as a home favorite last 3 years, and they scored 5 goals, 4 in the last game. Yeah, they're tough to beat in the next game. 17-4 straight up in the next contest, and that's pretty good. All right, there you have it. Also, don't forget, you can find more stats and trends right here. I got a good article. You want to read this? There's some funny one-liners, and it's supposed to be a little lighthearted, So, there's enough crap going on in the world that when you are taking a couple of minutes of your day to come to the website, hopefully we can put a smile on your face. And that's why I'm trying to incorporate more humor into the articles here, or into the website. So this way, you go on with your day feeling a little bit better, right? All right, check it out, atsstats.com. Yeah, Ross Benjamin and myself, we do have our picks here each and every day. I'm having a pretty good run. In fact, the only game I lost last night was the Halos. I went 3-1 the other night. So on the last, let me see here, last 13. or, go back to last 20. Let's say my last 20 picks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, had a push, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 with one push. So 13, 6, and 1 in my premium picks. And Ross Benjamin, you can get Ross's picks here too. Ross the Boss Benjamin had New York, Golden State, and Baltimore. He went with Baltimore. I think that was his only play last night. Yeah, he had the Baltimore Orioles. Big win, big come from beyond win. All right, folks, and also I'll give a free pick each and every day. Go to Ron Raymond, free pick of the day. And you can get it right there, the free pick. Unfortunately, we lost with Atlanta yesterday. And if you're interested in a premium membership for 1 month, it's $79. 7 days, $49. But the best value, 41 cents a day for a full year, $149. So it works out to 41 cents a day. And if you want the premium picks for 41 cents a day, it's only $150 for the year. And you're supporting the site, and hopefully you're enjoying the site and enjoying the podcast. All right, I'll be back here on cue the music here. Hey, love this music. It's a good tune. Reminds me of the old Jim Rome song, eh? But yeah, I'll be back here on a Thursday, April 27th, and I'll be back on Thursday. All right, in the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back here on another edition of the Raymond Report. Cheers.
Hey, baby! We're gonna be here all day! We're gonna be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party!